Hello, YouTube! Welcome in, welcome in. We are watching some casual geographic again, and this time we're going to learn about giraffes. I don't have any idea how weird giraffes are because they already are extremely weird. They are weird. I have no idea what to expect. I never do. So let's find out.
You know you shouldn't have clicked on this video, because now you're going to find out what giraffes sound like.
Oh my god, what? You're right. I don't think I've ever heard what a giraffe might sound like. I don't think they really make much noise, do they? I know I've gone past a giraffe at a zoo or once or twice, so...
You went your whole life thinking they don't make a
Oh, right. This is from that one weird game. Image is not real, but this next clip is. Shout out to Unnatural Habitat. Oh, no.
sound, but you bet giraffe they do. We used to think
Oh, so they just sound like a very bassy deer. Honestly, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
giraffes were like the Gian lasagna or post-2011 Osama, dead silent, and scientists swore that an animal with that neck situation would be physically incapable of generating enough airflow to say anything audible. Moral of the story?
Honestly, makes sense, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta mind the business that pays you, and it wasn't until someone was in the business of paying researchers to mind the giraffes that they heard the humming of Hoist the Colors from the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. Over the course of 8 years, they recorded nearly 1,000 hours of audio of giraffes in zoos, and they found that giraffes will hum to each other in the dead of night. Although if they would have listened to the locals, they would have found out sooner. Because over 100 residents in Pengton complained of a creepy droning sound coming from the zoo's giraffe house. Sounds that folks were claiming were making them physically sick.
That is a horrible picture. Poor baby.
To the point where they made a petition to incite an investigation, and the zoo both declined to comment, but also said it wasn't a giraffe, but also said their lawyers would be looking into it. Gee, I thought you said no comment. So you know this study
Our lawyers will be looking into it, but no comment.
must have been vindicating. As for the zarafa, we now know what the giraffes say, but we still don't know why. It could be how giraffes keep track of each other at night. Maybe it's how a beast with a trachea to LeBron's long snores. Maybe it's a demonic giraffe ritual. Or maybe it's like birds where to us, there's no meaning, but to them the intentions are rated. And
The intentions. Chirp, chirp. Oh, what a lovely song. I wonder what you're singing about, little bird. Chirp, chirp. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's beautiful. Chirp, chirp. Does anybody want to fuck?
And that is only the surface of how weird this walking didgeridoo is.
You have no idea!
Insane giraffes are as a concept. Like you might not realize, the closest you can get to Jeff Goldblum's wet dream is by rage baiting the tallest animal alive. That'll earn you a one-way ticket to Jurassic Park. Now ignoring whatever they did to get
That's horrifying.
Jeffrey that active, one of the consequences of being the tallest is despite a motivated giraffe nearly breaking 40 miles per hour, they're sentenced to life of running the way we do in dreams. They could be running from certain death, but damn it, they're gonna look majestic doing it. To be fair, if you make a giraffe do all that, I'm on his side. You deserved it. Another consequence is this video right here. This video went viral because it was the first time many realized that an animal with a neck longer than the prohibition has to tank inclement weather right to the face.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, could they not, like, duck themselves down, get their head out of the wind? A little bit?
Fun fact,
Buddies.
giraffes don't use slurs. But the day we learn how to ask one how's the weather up there in Giraffes, they'll start.
Oh, buddy. Oh, little guy.
But nature
He was just a little armor puppy was just wanting to say hi. Boot him in the head.
didn't completely leave them out to dry. I mean, obviously. Nah, but they do have a trick in plain sight. Those iconic giraffe patches also have a network of blood vessels that's like a built-in thermostat where they can expand to release warmth to stay cool during the heat of day, but can also constrict and hold heat in times like when they have to raw dog a rainstorm. Also, the nature of being the tallest
Oh, that's kind of handy, actually. Interesting that that's an ability they just straight up have. Those spots hold and release heat. Wonder how that works. I'm always fascinated by weird animal anatomy and all that. Like, because all we know how to do is what humans can do, right? We're human. We're nothing else. So all of our natural processes make sense. When you see another animal and they look like just a basic mammalian, you would be like, okay, they should have very similar processes to us. But no, you have dogs don't have sweat glands. Cats have the sandpaper tongue. Giraffes have freaking hot and cold patches, and what else? Cows have 4 stomachs. Like, how does all this work? and it's all natural to those creatures. But to humans, that doesn't make any sense.
Means it's actually more dangerous for them to lay down in the rain than just stand up to the storm. Now, the chances a giraffe gets struck by lightning are very, very low. They're still 30 times more likely to get touched by Thor than a human. Now, the chances they get electrocuted on power lines is slightly higher. To be fair, that's human intervention and poor design. That's not their fault. Especially because having a neck and legs longer than a Monday in August already comes with problems nothing else can relate to. Giraffes have one hell of a childhood, and it starts with them getting dropped 6 feet flat on their face. Literally airdropped into existence on their heads, because once again, a mother laying down to give birth would be the easiest lick of a lion's life. Also, as babies, we had doctors to slap us into breathing. Giraffes get the ground. To their credit, at 6 feet,
we get slapped. We get slapped into existence. The giraffes get the ground. Oh, buddies.
220 pounds, the Zarafa Kafa can find its feet in only 30 minutes. But they get reintroduced to the ground several times in the process. And in only a few hours, the baby giraffe can run in stride with its mother, which isn't a luxury, because there are many things to run away from as a newborn giraffe calf, and more than half will get snatched by actual predators. Luckily, the mother will defend them to the death, and a kick from over 2,000 pounds of motivated motherhood will leave a lion lying on the ground permanently. They have sharp hooves the size of dinner plates that's instant attitude adjustment to any predator. Ooh, that's a concussion.
Oh, God.
And of course, having...
Oh, God, that must have hurt. Oh, if not, just be done. Yeah, Ostrich, what are you thinking? This ostrich is like, oh, you want to have a little bit of a tussle with me?
Legs higher than student loans gives them more rings than most animals are ready for. It just sucks when mama ends up being the baby's biggest op. When I said the mother defends them to the death, sometimes she's the one delivering it. I have seen too many mothers trying to scare off lions only to end up river dancing on their child. Like the
No! That's horrifying!
operation was a success, but the patient died. It takes 14 months for a mother giraffe to birth a calf, and only 0.2 seconds to accidentally delete her dependent. I'm not dumb to how hard piloting 6-foot flesh stilts must be, but I've seen quadruple amputees shoot with more accuracy than a giraffe using her own legs. And that's assuming
that's because they're like, the way they're designed, their heads are like way out here, their legs are way down here and behind their head. They're not looking at their heads. This is like, it's the opposite of us growing up in high school, and we're always just looking down at our feet, don't want to make eye contact with anybody. These guys are just constantly looking forward and not paying attention to their feet. Those kids walking around with their eyes down, you can tell they're not going to trip over anything, but these guys, they're going to trip over everything.
it's an accident. This was straight up intentional. And I still don't know why she did that. Things don't get much easier in zoos either, as captive giraffes have accidentally stepped and sat on their own children. So fatal friendly fires are just another consequence of being tall. Another is that giraffes are one of the few mammals that can't swim, and they play river roulette every time they cross one. You just know his heart drops straight to his stomach. And that ain't nothing, that's like a 2-story drop. At this point, it really feels like being tall is more trouble than it's worth, to the point where you gotta ask, why are they so tall in the first place?
That
the answer
is the
might seem
question.
pretty obvious, but
I mean, the biggest answer would be the leaves. They grew taller to be able to keep up with the leaves that they prefer eating. But why? Why not just evolve to eat something different?
like the giraffe, it's more controversial and more complicated than you think. The easy answer is to say that giraffes evolved long necks to reach foliage that no other herbivore could, and while that might be true, I do want to clear something up real quick. Evolution's a lot of things, including a word I don't use anymore because I respect women, but what it's not is intentional. Master Oogway might have been a creationist. Evolution is a lot of accidents actually. Basically, it's a random mutation, like a slightly longer neck, that gave an individual an edge, and with long necks seeing better reproductive success, that random mutation would have a much better chance of getting passed on. After millions, and I do mean millions of years of natural selection, long necks would become the dominant and eventually the only giraffe build. Just a series of events creating something not perfect, but just good enough to keep the...
So, unintentional selective breeding gave them long necks. That's kind of sad, but also makes sense. It's like Idiocracy, but with long necks instead of stupidity.
Wheel rolling. The Barbarossa literally lobotomizes itself with its own dental, but as long as that happens after they have kids, evolution will remain Ray Charles to it. But with giraffes, it seems straightforward, so much that when you learned about natural selection in school, the giraffe was probably the easiest example. Now what if I told you we still can't agree on how the giraffe got this way? Every theory seems to have at least one good counter. It's easy to believe that the tallest giraffe would have a nutritional advantage, except a 2010 study showed that in a drought, it was actually the tallest and largest giraffes that died the most. Also,
Yeah, because, first they need to get all the water into their mouth, stand up to be able to swallow it and get it into their body, and they have to keep doing that for every drink. Because it's not like they can swallow it with enough pressure to get it to go all the way up and around its neck. Yeah, that's not... And because of how their body is built, they have to literally do the splits just to get down to get the food.
some argue that if being tall was such a buff, more herbivores would have evolved the same way, yet the Gerenuk seems to be the only one that went down the alt-height pipeline. You know, we don't talk about this enough, and we really should. This is...
Those things look like little aliens. What the hell?
100% responsible for a cryptid myth or two. Others say it's the built-in temperature setting that was the real driving force. A popular theory is that animals live by the 3 Fs, and the long necks, if not for food, must be for... Except if it was for female validation, you'd expect the males to have disproportionately longer necks. But even though the males...
There was a nice little audio cut there. I think he said something he didn't like.
are physically bigger, it's actually the females that have more proportionally impressive necks. Which actually led to another theory that the neckwork was actually to support the female's high metabolic demands while pregnant. There's even a theory that the giraffe's neck wasn't even the main feature, that they evolved long legs first and the long neck came after so the giraffe could still reach water. Maybe not the strongest theory, but for sure the funniest. But to me, there's likely no one thing, more like a combination of things driving the giraffe to be what it is now. Except I did leave one thing out, because even with feeding and forking, there's a third F word that's just as important. In 1996, a long-dead relative of the giraffe was discovered in China. Discokerixesha looks like the modern version's reflection in a fun...
That's... I hope... Is that seriously what these things would look like? That's a choice of look.
House, and scientists say the thick neck and even thicker skull were used to violently headbutt each other. And scientists studying its anatomy say that not only would this half a giraffe have headbutted harder than any other animal, including dinosaurs, but being built like a sledgehammer and behaving like one is proof that the giraffe's neck was more about fighting than food. And while I'm still sure it was a combination of different pressures, I can see it being for fighting. You've definitely seen giraffes fight like 2 inflatable car salesmen in a turf war. As goofy as it is, they do damage. That's exactly what those are for. Those are ossicones, not horns, but ossified cartilage. Basically, if your ears got bricked up, no mortar. Those ossicones are great for bludgeoning.
Oh, so those... Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that. You know how when you feel the top of your ear, it's kind of like that weird bendy but solid kind of material. It's almost like a cartilage. So it's just that, but bigger. Weird.
Their opponents into oblivion. They're also good for butting a female in the bladder to make her pee, so he can taste test it and assess her availability.
Lots of animals do this, by the way. Also, the faces is their Fleeman response, aka the face an animal makes to detect pheromones. I see.
Don't let the lower frame rate fool you. Those ossicones genuinely tear each other up. That was the winner, by the way. Now the difference is, animals with antlers shed them once a year. That's not blood, that's moose velvet. Giraffes don't. Not just because the cones are fused to their Jurassic skull, but also giraffes breed all year round. Which means they gotta be ready for smoke all year round.
Oh, that one's going for a trip!
Like, you don't even know, Giraffe Fight Club genuinely goes crazy. Like, they have rules. The first one, I've already broken. So we'll just talk about the others. Giraffe fights are brutal as hell. It's basically boxing mixed with Mortal Kombat. Watch 2 bulls trade blows. Eventually, you'll see a giraffe feint, counter, and uppercut. Their fighting style even evolves as they mature. Younger males...
When are we going to get a Disney boxing movie, but it's giraffes boxing with their heads? That sounds funny.
Usually swing for the biggest target, being the ribs or the rump, but older, seasoned bulls often chip away at their matchup by targeting the legs. Not only because weakening the legs is the fastest way to fell a tower, but a giraffe that gets his leg broken is immediately disqualified from the gene pool. That's a career-ending injury for Buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because once again, with animals, like, animals have a situation where if they get randomly wounded, that's basically them done. It's kind of like humans in human media. We're always making a joke about like, oh, got a paper cut back in like the early 30s or something like that. Oh, okay, it's been a good run. I got a splinter. Guess I'm going to die now. For animals, it's pretty much 100%. Oh, We got a sheepy raid. Oh, right.
But look at it this way, there's a lion pride that's not going to believe their luck. Giraffe fades are so devastating that they rarely even get to that point. In fact, most times, giraffes are weirdly ethical fighters, and I'm so glad I get to talk about that now.
You okay, buddy? You okay? As my migraine trying to pop up, so I needed to go nap. I was dismissed by chat. Understandable. You go get yourself a good rest then, okay? Thank you. Thank you for the raid.
Giraffes are like baseball players, where they have a preference between swinging their neck to the left or the right. And what's crazier is, they'll actually respect each other's preference. In sparring matches, they'll line up head to tail if both fighters have the same preference. So like if two southpaws line up head to tail, both parties get to practice swinging to the left. With the same logic, if one's a southpaw and the other's orthodox, then they'll line up head to head with the right favoring fighter on the left. And if during a spar match, one giraffe swings too hard and his momentum puts him out of position, both sides will stop, realign themselves, and briefly start again. That is mighty gentlemanly.
Damn! That's interesting. So, giraffes have like a very, very orthodox like set of rules and everything to make sure that, okay, we're going to have a good clean fight here. No hitting below the belts unless you're going for like a leg sweep. If one goes down, make sure you don't just keep on kicking. We're not babies or anything like that. You don't want to stomp that out. And no belly shots. We don't need to be peeing on the cord.
It's a mutual respect you wouldn't expect from a camel leopard. That's not the only point in the giraffe's code. Giraffes also believe in weight classes. Researchers watching quickly realized that males will go out of their way to fight opponents as close to the same size as them, and will reject matches with males noticeably smaller. Instead of an easy win, sparring giraffes will go for the fair fight because skill-based matchmaking is not a human concept. Giraffes are even known to follow the bar
It's barely even a human concept we follow.
Fight phenomenon, where if one pair starts sparring, that seems to get all the other giraffes to start running it. And rarely do you see any giraffe attempting to cheat. Arguably, the only questionable action is older bulls will sometimes interfere with and break up fights between youngerlings. Some say it's the old heads playing referee. I think it's straight hating. I'm not even kidding. Older bulls will meddle in fights, and I'm sure it's to keep any one male from getting too comfortable and confident. Because a cocky male is a problem for everyone. But yeah, that neck and
in pretty much every species, yeah, you're not wrong.
Those cones are good for more than just drinking from the golden fountain. And while males using maximum effort is straight blood sport, like bro is not waiting on a bell.
Oh my god.
He's waiting for him to stop breathing. For the most part, males keep it peaceful. Some say a little too peaceful. There's another interesting fact about giraffes, and before y'all get mad at me, all I ask...
They're very adorable and doofy looking though. They're very doofy.
...is that y'all hear me out. Because male giraffes have a special way of making up after a fight, and that has caused controversy in ways I'm sure the giraffes did not see coming. Giraffe sparring matches have been known to end with the two bulls caressing each other's necks and lightly nudging each other. It's believed it's how two males reinforce their bond and standing in the overall group. It's really no different from guys dapping each other up after a pickup basketball.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong. That's not a problem. Yeah, they're just being, they're showing like appreciation for a good fight in their own way. Yeah.
Game. Basically, I'm good. You good? We good. That's what I thought, until his 4-foot pink lightsaber came out and he tried to mount the other. And it's that kind of behavior that has people saying this portrait mode stretching the neck unicorn is one of the gayest animals out there. Not derogatory. Apparently, enough of these necking competitions come to a conclusion with at least one of the males doing so as well. Sometimes to completion.
Oh my. Oh my. Well, I mean, when you're into a fight, sometimes the adrenaline goes other places, right?
Sometimes they arrive long after they show up. There was a study in Tanzania on the social life of the giraffe, and in over 3,200 hours of observation, the team witnessed 17 instances of male-on-male mountings.
Okay, that's kind of impressive.
The number of male-on-female, 1. So not only did
3,200. How long is that? How long is that? How many days is 3,200 hours? That's half a year, 133 days. Them boys were bricked up.
133 days of study amount to witnessing a traditional giraffe couple up once. The math means 94% of the explicit long neck liaisons or between two males. That's how giraffes became the mascot of Brokeback Mountain. And you've had politicians get
British Labour MP claims nearly all male giraffes are gay. Gay giraffes now split upper ranks of Labour Party after Deep MP Don Butler is ridiculed by senior advisors for suggesting 99% of the animals are attracted to their own gender. British politicians are fighting over giraffe. Guys, I'm going to just be perfectly honest with this one. They don't have a concept of that. They don't have a concept of being gay or straight. They just have instincts and hormones and everything every other creature has. They just kind of follow what their instincts and what their wants are at that moment. Humans are one of the few animals in the world that have a moral compass and a want to put a label on this sort of thing. Mainly because we have to label literally fucking everything in the goddamn world.
genuinely heated over the stretch neck sexuality. So are giraffes gay? Listen, I'm gonna give my non-expert online opinion and pray y'all don't kill me.
And also, yeah, that was my own not expert opinion, and you know, I don't care if you guys get pissy with me. They're giraffes. They're funny. And they fight like proper fighters. And it's like an anime. They're Baki. It's Baki. Just attribute giraffe lives to Baki. That is the gayest straight man show you'll ever see.
A lot of animals will mount to flex dominance or to bond. Dogs do it, bison do it. Go to any locker room and you might see the football team doing it, and they say it's not gay. Male lions might be the most famous for doing it.
Male lions and coalitions are closely bonded and constantly show affection in a way that isn't reproductive. Yep. I log on the stream and the first thing I see are gay giraffes.
But it's more social than sexual. Giraffe male mounting is likely for dominance, and that 94% is probably more about giraffes being rare to witness actually mating in the first place than 90% of giraffes just swinging the other way.
Hey, why'd you run away, man? What the hell? We're just butt buddies. What's wrong?
I do think it's a little bit of putting human traits on an animal with no concept of gay.
Yes.
Like you gotta remember, we are the only species on Earth that goes out of its way to say pause. Giraffe don't give a
Yeah, no, like, exactly. We are just... That's something that we're constantly doing. We are humanizing creatures that are completely different from us, and we are attributing traits from other creatures to humans. Trying to say, well, this creature has this capability, humans should be able to do the same thing. No, that's not how that works. And it's the same way the other way. No, just because humans are like this, that means the animals are like that. No, that's not how that works. Dogs give us a little bit of a confusion on that one because they are so close to human people. Like, they actually share a lot of mentalities with us. Oh, what the hell? What did that get? I've never heard a giraffe say no homo. Coincidence? I think not. And Automat got you for saying no homo. There are gay animals. Yeah, there are some. But once again, I don't think it's because they are biologically gay. I think it's just part of their, what the animals just straight up do. Just part of their actual, like, how they actually work. I'm pretty sure penguins sometimes pair up in gay couplings, but I think that's, once again, just, a way that animal just kind of lives its life. It's not because it's gay. It probably just wants that companionship.
Well, they might give one. Jokes aside, male giraffes can mount each other without it being sensually explicit. The same way they can taste a female's bladder assets without, being into that. But with the giraffe, they might do gay shit. But I don't mean gay, and that's on being an ally. But like I said, the kosher camel is so much weirder than you think, and that's not a joke. Giraffes are kosher, biblically accurate. Bet giraffe on that. How about the fact that we only just found out that there are actually 4 species of giraffes, and we only know that because a conservation group decided to test their DNA for funsies, and that test showed that the northern, southern, reticulated, and Maasai giraffes are all completely different species. In total, there are 7 subspecies of the giraffe. Some are endangered, some are critically endangered. See, now, you done took the giraffes for granted. I bet they didn't even tell you that some are silently going extinct.
Nope. I honestly thought all giraffes were basically the same thing. I did not know that there were Like the same thing as in like poodles, labs, and all them are the same are essentially the same dog. That's what I mean. I figured there'd be other breeds, but I don't know anything about them. Just like cats, I know nothing about cat breeds.
Experts literally call it a silent extinction because while you weren't paying attention, the Kordofan giraffe is silently getting cancelled, and the new being about to be in past tense, which would be a shame because giraffes are like nothing on Earth. Which is another fact, giraffes have the strangest cousins. The pronghorn antelope is actually more of a giraffe, and the okapi was nature's first day using Microsoft Paint, and it's basically the giraffe of the jungle. They're just too weird to not get a video of their own. So that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother, touch grass, hug your father. If you're like me and giraffes dropping is your newest concern, I'm gonna be donating to the Giraffe Conservation Foundation. Link in the description if you'd like to as well. And I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you about to get sent in the next week, bud. You don't let it get too close. Oh, you're dumb. You dumb. Oh, you're lucky. You are lucky. Why do they run like that? You should watch the rest of it. You should watch the video. So goofy. I love it, right? But yeah, that was giraffes. Casual Geographic's great. You should go check them out. How was I not subscribed? This is not even the first video I watched of his. The hell? Well, I fixed that issue. What? Hey, did you enjoy that? Was it funny? Well, come and check it out live over on twitch.tv/freeform_art. Make sure you put the _art. We have lots of fun there. We enjoy ourselves, and we want to see you over there. So come on and hang out. See you in a bit.